Hi Fashion, Hair and Beauty students. This is the second video in relation to completing your design folio. At this stage I've noticed that only 3 of you have sent me this section for feedback, and I have, when you look in your tasks, I have sent you feedback, so you need to look at that, fill in that section with my recommendations, and then you'll be able to move on. For the rest of you, you need to come up with your topics, what you might do underneath those particular topic headings, make a choice, what part of that topic are you going to do, what would be your production, and then I've noticed with the mapping here that the template, the way that it's been formatted, it's hard to actually put the answers in. So just underneath, note down what the answers would be. When it comes to production, now we're only going to be back at school for 3 weeks. So we're going to have very little time for you to do the production at school. So what you need to do is keep that in mind when you are choosing how you are going to do the production. You would be able to do the hair production on the models. You could do the makeup at school, you could do skincare, you could do nails, but anything that's going to take a long period of time, you may have to modify. You can keep going with a PowerPoint at school, you can take video or photos, but just keep that in mind when you are making your choice. Okay, those people who have sent their possible topic in, if you look in your feedback, you'll see that I've helped you define your topic a little bit better, and also have helped you to write a design brief. So from that, the constraints are there. You only need 5 or 6, which are the things that this particular person or client is asking you to do for them. So please refer to that, then go and make your changes to your folio. Once you have done that, you're actually up to the investigation section. So constraints, turn them into questions, and then you'll see the next thing is about research. Basically, you are going to look at what your topic is. For example, it might be makeup for a special occasion, as one person has done. So are there any particular things in there you need to define? If it's for a special occasion, what makes up makeup for a special occasion? What skills might you need? What sort of materials are you going to need? So this is where you go on the internet and get some ideas of the sorts of makeup. You know, you might have to look at what is suitable for a particular complexion or a face shape. So that would all be part of the research. So you can actually include that on the document here if you want to. Just type it in and keep going down the page. Use pictures, cut and paste them in, and make sure your research does relate to what it is that you are doing. And the whole point about this is that your research should help you with the next section in relation to developing your options. So underneath that, there is a section if you wish to type in there or do it as a word and put it in. This next section is really optional. It's really just helping with a mood board as to how you might put this thing together. So I'm not really fazed if you don't do a great deal in relation to that. But this is the next important bit, and this is the design options. So what you are to do is draw your ideas for 3 options. Each idea could include colours, materials, design features. If you're not confident with drawing skills, just once again, copy and paste in any examples that you have found and label anything you may change, etc. So there are places, and then underneath each of the options, what you are to do is look at the advantages or disadvantages if you choose that particular option, and how well would that meet your design brief and the constraints. So you have to come up with 3 possibilities. So for example, if it's makeup, then you would come up with 3 possibilities for makeup for a special occasion. It could be different colorings, etc. So that's where you would put them. Then out of those 3, preferred option is, which one out of that 3 would you pick and why? So the idea is you go back to your constraints. Does it do everything that your constraints say you must have? So that's what you do in the design options, exactly the same as what you've done in any other technology. And so this is getting you to say yes or no to each of them. And then your production plan is, what do you need as far as materials? When are you going to do it? All right, so it's pretty straightforward then, and the step-by-step instructions when it comes to producing. After that, there is an evaluation, but you don't need to go on with that at this stage because that's the planning and designing and you haven't finished that. So once again, when you have done your designs and picked your final designs, I want you to submit that. So I'll put up a task about submitting part 2 just to keep me aware of where you are and on track. So for the double of this period, and you will see that in the plan for the day's lesson, if you have submitted the first part